Okay, there we go. I got the YouTube to work, baby. I think at least. I think I got the YouTube to work. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Uh, 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 uh. Okay, there we go. Now I gotta get this to pop out. Bring the YouTube chat her. And then keep this put here. Close. There we go, chat. I don't know why I wasn't able to get it in the beginning.
Tucked deep in the forest, this prison seems like something out of a fairy tale.
Behind me is what's regarded as the world's most humane maximum security prison. Not a single coil of razor wire in sight, and yet no prisoner has ever tried to escape. Violent incidents are extremely rare. The prison's ethos is simple. Everyone inside will one day be outside and will become somebody else's neighbour.
One thing that sets Halden Fengsel apart from other prisons is its focus on nature. The architects wanted to create a space that felt more like a retreat than a punishment. A place where inmates could breathe in fresh air and bask in the beauty of the natural world. But it's not just the scenery that makes Halden amazing. The government splashed a whopping £15 million to build the prison, and it took 10 years to complete because every detail was carefully thought out as if they were designing a vacation resort. An artist from Norway was paid $1 million to paint a mural on the prison wall. The mural shows a prisoner in a striped uniform using a ball and chain as a shot put. Halden Fengsel has only 252 inmates, meaning each prisoner gets their own private cell.
Oh, that's hard.
Complete with a mini fridge, flat screen TV, and even a private bathroom. The windows don't even have bars, so prisoners can enjoy plenty of sunlight.
This is his cell block with a full kitchen, big screen TV, laundry room.
You have a key to your own cell?
Yeah, everybody has their own key.
Everyone has their
The
own
guards
key.
at the prison don't carry weapons and often play sports with the inmates. Half of the prison staff are women, based on research showing that having women around creates a calmer atmosphere.
Hello.
There's even a special house
They be
where
fucking.
inmates can spend time with their families during overnight visits. Many people have complained that this prison is too luxurious, especially because most of the inmates are dangerous criminals who have done some really wicked things. But those in charge say the prison was designed to be comfortable because they want to focus on human rights and respect.
Hello.
It's no surprise that the
We need someone in
ultra-rich are
prison
pulling
out
all the
here.
strings to get transferred there. But we can't talk about luxury prisons without talking about La Cathedral. The only time in history a criminal has spent his own money to build a prison
Mr.
for
Escobar.
himself. 4. La Cathedral in Colombia.
Mr. Escobar.
In the late 1980s, Pablo Escobar was the richest and most famous drug lord in the world. But with all that money came a lot of attention, and the US and Colombian governments were hunting Escobar down. After years of evading capture, Pablo was tired of running. Escobar demanded that he be allowed to negotiate his own terms of surrender, which included the
Yeah, y'all niggas
creation
wasn't about
of
to
a
catch him
special
ever
prison
anyways.
where he could serve his sentence in comfort and safety. The Colombian government agreed, and soon La Cathedral Prison was built. Completed in 1991, La Cathedral was not a regular prison. It was more like a mansion in the mountains of Medellin. Pablo Escobar constructed it to be less of a prison and more of a playground. That's why people nicknamed it Club Medellin or Hotel Escobar. They joked that it was not maximum security, but maximum comfort. Here's a short clip of the interior of the prison. The prison had a kitchen, a private bathroom, a personal gym, a disco, a soccer field, a bar, and a waterfall. Pablo's room had a circular rotating bed, a 60-inch TV, and a bathroom with a jacuzzi. For his 42nd birthday, Escobar hired the top chefs in Medellin and threw a fancy party. He even hosted a wedding inside the prison. There were nights of music, dancing, and fun.
That's the way to do that. That TV, hey, that shit look weak as fuck, nigga. But back then, that motherfucking TV was busting, B. Niggas like, damn, you got that one? And it look like, say, Sony right here. You feel me? They like, you got the Sony? Damn, you busting. You feel me? Now we look at this TV, we like, what the fuck is this bullshit? You feel me? Why the fuck you got a back on it and shit? You feel me? Why so thick? You feel me? Fucking look heavy. My TV thin. I like thin TVs. But niggas like, damn, we got that one. Nah, he up. You up. Y'all gotta remember, it's the 1980s. It's the 80s, you feel me? So, shit like that, busting.
But Escobar's time at La Cathedral came to an abrupt end when news spread that Escobar murdered 4 of his men right there inside the prison. This made the Colombian government furious, and they decided it was time to move Escobar to a regular jail. However, before they could go in and grab him, Escobar escaped using a secret route through the forest. Today, the Colombian government has given La Cathedral to a group of monks who are using it as a monastery. Many people describe La Cathedral as Pablo's playground. Interestingly, the next prison on our list can be described as a playground, except it's a playground for kids. 3. Aranjuez Prison, Spain. Many prisoners have kids, but once they're thrown in the slammer, they're separated from their children for years. But imagine a prison where instead of families being torn apart, they are given the opportunity to stay together. That's the Aranjuez prison, the only prison with cells for families. The Aranjuez prison in Spain was designed to let parents stay in jail with their young kids. In situations where both parents are convicted criminals, they may be sent to Aranjuez to live together with their child in a family cell. Children can stay in Aranjuez prison until they are 3 years old. After their 3rd birthday, they are given to relatives outside jail or placed in social services. When the kids are gone, their parents return to their regular cells. Kids in Aranjuez prison go to nursery school, sleep in cribs, play in the compound, and have a fun kids area made just for them. There's even a story of Carmen Garcia, a woman who met a fellow prisoner in Aranjuez prison, got married, and had a child in prison. The 2 parents, who were both serving prison sentences, were allowed to move into a special family cell to raise their child together. A child's early years are very important, and the Aranjuez prison is making sure that every child can experience the love of a parent,
That's dope. That's
even if
actually
that
fire.
parent is behind bars.
That's actually
2.
really dope.
La Picota prison in Bogota, Colombia. Juan Carlos Martinez used to be a Colombian senator. He had money and power, but then everything came crashing down in 2009 when he was found guilty of drug trafficking and ties to rebel groups in Colombia. The Colombian TV network sent cameras to film proceedings as Martinez was standing trial.
Sin que el ente acusador haya radicado la resolución de acusación. Sin embargo, Martínez continuará recluido en la cárcel La Picota de Bogotá.
Juan Carlos was sentenced to 7.5 years in La Picota prison, and Colombians expected this corrupt politician to suffer for his crimes. However, they were in for a surprise. Instead of hard labor, Juan Carlos Martinez enjoyed a lavish lifestyle behind bars. He was so comfortable that he decided to throw a party for his birthday. The party made headlines all over Colombia. It was an extravagant affair. The party went on for 2 days with 34 guests in attendance, including a salsa star. Musicians, food, and alcohol were smuggled into the prison for the celebration. And Martinez went beyond mere celebrations. To create more space in his luxury cell, he broke down the wall that separated it from the adjacent cell. He was literally building his own little paradise within prison. When the news of the lavish party spread, it sparked public outrage. Colombians demanded the government stop giving Martinez special treatment. In 2012, after pressure from the people, Martinez was moved out of La Picota and transferred to another prison where he would not have such luxury accommodation. Speaking of luxury accommodation, this next prison has the most elegant cells in the world. It's so posh, it's not even called a prison, it's called a justice center. Let's check out the 5-star prison that has a spa for inmates. 1. Justice Center Leoben in Austria. Inmates at the Justice Center Leoben aren't sad they're in prison. Actually, they consider themselves very lucky, because they are one of the best facilities a criminal can ever be sent to. The prison is located in Leoben, Austria. It's a minimum security prison for people who did not commit violent crimes. Those in charge of the facility put 2 quotes on the walls to show what they believe in. The first quote says, "All human beings are born free and
Nigga, I'm
equal
going to
in
Austria and
dignity
stealing
and rights."
everything.
And the second
I'm getting
quote
everything
is,
for free.
"All
If I
persons
get caught, I'm
deprived
going to
of
low
their
jail like
liberty
this.
shall be
Better
treated with
living."
humanity and with respect for the inherent dignity
I ain't paying for
of the
shit
human
when I go to
person."
Austria. You can
These
send
two
me to
quotes
this
basically
prison.
mean the same thing, that people in prison are still human beings and therefore should be treated with kindness and respect. And Justice Center does exactly that. Each prisoner in the facility has a cozy room with a television, private bathroom, and kitchenette. To make sure inmates can stay healthy, they have a state-of-the-art gym. And for
State-of-the-art.
those who want other forms of exercise, there's a basketball court
Yeah.
where they can shoot
Yeah,
some
don't let
hoops.
me get to Austria.
Although many people expect
Don't let
prisoners
me
to
get to
suffer,
Austria.
that's not always the case. With enough connections and influence, the ultra-rich can enjoy the best life
Don't
in
let me
luxury
get to
prisons.
Austria. I ain't paying
For
for
more
shit,
stories about
Weedo.
how rich people
Weedo, I just watched this whole video on the fucking prisons, nigga. These motherfuckers, some of these niggas is lucky. Austria, and then where are those other places? There's one more that I didn't mind going to. Shit. This one right here. In Norway. Norway and Austria. Shit, nigga, you would sit, I'm going to jail in both of them. Cause nigga in Norway, these niggas go fishing, they swim, they got their own living quarters. In Austria, nigga, they got a state of the art facility gym, basketball courts, nigga, a spa, they own rooms, they own bathrooms, they own kitchenette room, nigga. Yeah, nigga, don't let me get to Austria, nigga. I'll fuck it, cause it's minimum security. Like, so it's like you can't do violent crimes. You can't go out there fucking niggas up, beating niggas up. But nigga, I ain't paying for a thing. I'm taking everything. Cause if I go to jail, I'm good. I'm good. Shit, I want to move. That's what I'm saying, bro. Shit, nigga, I get food. I get to get a gym for free. Niggas is watching after me. Like, I'm saying, like, bruh, yeah, take me to Austria, take me to jail. Take me to, oh, nigga, also, I learned how to DJ a little bit. Look, I'm about to buy this Amazon thing. Right here, this Amazon Hercules control, nigga. I'm about to learn how to DJ, bro. It's only $130. You feel me? But I want to buy this, nigga, and I want to start DJing, bro. This motherfucker right here is cold. I watched a video, bro, and like gonna help this specific thing is gonna help you figure out like the BPMs and where to get it right at and how to fade it, all that shit, my nigga. All gang. I want to learn how to DJ, bro. I want to learn how to DJ. Shit, my nigga. Also, I was thinking about doing a fucking IRL stream today. So I go to the store and get a few things like a couple gift bags and a couple gifts. But a few gifts might just have to fucking wait. As a matter of fact, I might just order my sister's gift right now. Mm. That's a 40 bone. We'll get it by 27. That will come by today. Fuck. Yeah, what's called? I'm just trying to get this phone, my other phone, charged up, and then I'm gonna try to throw my hotspot on it. And if my hotspot's good enough to IRL off that phone, then I'll take that one. Cause I kind of want to be able to have music and shit, so I'll have to play music with this one. Oh no, I can still do music with that one if the IRL's not good enough. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. I need gift bags. So I need to go to the dollar store and get those, which is easy. The other gifts I go wait till I get a little bit later. I need to just really gift bags. I do need to go to Walmart and get some personal stuff like body wash and shit. And then oh yeah, and then get my niece a couple shit for Christmas too. Bro, I'm on my phone bugging. Wi-Fi off. Turn it back on. Okay, I think I'll get this fucking power bank. Cause here, let me see. Let me do something quick. Just go like this and show chat. Amazon and then log in. 1 second here, chat. Gosh darn it. It's sending me emails and shit, nigga. Gmail. Okay. So it's in my cart now. Alright. So I was thinking about doing this because she'll be going to. I gotta be a little bit quiet because she's in another room. But a gym bag, right? And then I was looking at it, and it has this little. Wait, what's the pictures? Right here. It's talking about you can plug your own little power bank. You feel me? So you can always have a phone charger on the side. So this plus this, not bad deal. But I don't have all my money in my account right now. I don't get paid till a little bit after Christmas. So, and this don't even come till after Christmas. So, with that being said, I'm gonna just order this now and then get this later. Since this don't come till after Christmas. But she be going to the gym a lot, so you know, a little gym bag, you feel me? And plus it come with little other attachments, you feel me? I have little other little things you can keep with her, you feel me? And it's a good bag to have, you feel me? 'Cause look at it, look at this. This shit kinda cold. Feel me? Look at the compartments. Look, you can turn it into a backpack, do all that shit, you feel me? All the good stuff, you know what I mean? And then the power bank spot. Got a little wet pocket for all the bullshit. Feel me? Bunch of goodness. And then look, the bottom open, you can put the little, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Look, yeah, solid, huh? Feel me? Oh shit, I didn't even know it came with that. Wait, does it come with it on it or? You gotta, fuck it. We're gonna get it though. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Alright, alright, I'm gonna get this off my phone. I'm gonna order off my phone. That way I don't have to worry about it. Alright, and then we gotta find a new video. Oh, let's do this one. Let's do this one right here. Let's watch the second part of this. Alright. Let's see if that other shit came out or not. Yeah. ATL Jacob, ATL Jacob. Okay, continue to check out. Okay. Make sure this the right car. Hey, he hit 40. Yes, sir. We there, baby. We there, baby. We there, baby. We hit we hit affiliate. Nigga, it's off to we doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway, my nigga. We hit affiliate, nigga. We doing a giveaway. You feel me? Cause all I need is 10 worth of 10. I was checking it out earlier because I was trying to figure out I couldn't for the life of me, I couldn't remember that you do the manage goals in order to, you feel me, to switch the goals and shit. So I was like, how the fuck do I switch my goals? How do I do it? I was all going over here going to alerts and everything, but where's it at? Achievements right here, look. Feel me? We right there, and this is the build community. This is when we get VIPs and shit, you feel me? But the affiliate, I'm basically damn near there. You feel me? I just gotta get an average of 3 viewers, which we almost there. You feel me? Hit the fucking 50 follower mark, and then we damn near there. And then this one, we could get partner. We just gotta get 75 people watching us, nigga. We just gotta get 75 people watching us. That's it. Feel me? But we close to VIPs too. Hey, don't snitch on me. Don't snitch on me. No, Nana didn't do anything either. It was you. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, that was you. I saw you eat them. Ah, I saw you eat them. Okay, I placed it. Not me. No. No, no, no. Alright, cool. I don't know. You go with your mom. I'll be here. You go with your mom. I'll be here. I'll wait for you. So you go with your mom. I'll be here. I'll wait for you. No? I don't know. Probably. We're not gonna go. Probably go in an hour or so. Yeah, maybe. I just got 5 out of 5. Just need to 50. Hell hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We getting up there, baby. We getting up there. You feel me? And I got the YouTube running back. You feel me? Because at first it wasn't working. Now I got to go in. You feel me? Got the YouTube coming. You feel me? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that you do. It's already used, so I gotta find somewhere to place it. Maybe on my desk, or I can place it right here in the back. Yes, sir. Fuck, he wants to go, and I can't get her gift on the fucking store. Had to find. Okay, sounds good. Sounds Gucci. Okay, since this is working, it's charged a little bit. Just test it out real quick. Remote hotspot failure, unable to start personal hotspot. And why is that? Alright, well, it looks like I'm not gonna be able to do what I wanted to do. Alright, that's alright. That's alright. Alright, so it's a few more reacts, and then I'm gonna get out of here, go to the store for a bit, and I'll be back on. Since that shit don't want to work. What store you hitting? I gotta do like the dollar store and then like Walmart and shit like that. Okay, we're actually not as high as I thought we were. Okay, streaming it. Should. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's just I'm taking my niece. So, and what's it called? I wanted to get hotspot on this phone and see if it would work, but the hotspot for whatever reason doesn't want to work. Maybe because the phone's actually like completely disabled or something. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But But I don't know why I don't want to work. Maybe it's working. Oh, let's go. It's worked. It worked. Okay. Let's download Streamlabs. Damn, this shit's slow. This shit is slow. Okay, let's download that. And then let's just download YouTube Music. Because we might be able to just use this phone for music and then the other phone to stream off of. Okay. Alright, let's start this up. On that. Alright, I'm gonna run through real quick and then we'll get into this video. Alright. Now I gotta find one more thing too for the house. I'll look that up. Oh,
they have made millions and millions of euros. I'm going to be delivering justice to these motherfuckers.
I get told that they had posted flyers everywhere in my city. And I mean everywhere. High schools, malls.
They need to go in, even if there's a security guard, even if they're gonna be taken away. If somebody goes home walking, they will be fired.
They sent 18 people outside my door having a quote-unquote protest.
We are having war with other sites as well. Most of the CSGO gambling sites are scams.
I want to know who's really behind this thing, who's really the victims, and who's really the villain.
In our last video, we got bribed, but instead of taking it, we exposed the people who offered it. Now it's time to expose the rest of the Counter-Strike gambling industry and the influencers who promote it for millions a year. Let's start with the basics of what Counter-Strike gambling really is, though. Counter-Strike is a first-person shooter video game where you can buy cosmetic options for your guns called skins. You can get these by paying $2.50 to open a loot box. It spins like a slot machine, and you get a random skin. There's an entire economy that's grown out of their rarity, and you can sell these skins for pennies or up to tens of thousands of dollars depending on their rarity. You can then take those skins to Counter-Strike casinos where they will be accepted as currency instead of cash. They use their real-world value to turn this video game into Vegas. You can play slots, roulette, and more, all with a video game skin. Think of it like their version of poker chips. And when I first began to investigate this, I thought, why don't people just use a regular casino? You know, why use Counter-Strike skins for this? Well, I decided to investigate by interviewing a bunch of people who do use Counter-Strike casinos, and I found a disturbing trend.
I've been in the gambling community in Counter-Strike for about, I'd say since 12 years old.
I started gambling on Counter-Strike when I was probably 13 years old.
Jesus
13 years
Christ.
old. 14 years old.
I think I was 14. Started gambling on CSGO at the age of 12 and 13, pretty much right around there, my 13th birthday.
Yeah, most of the people I spoke to started gambling underage, and it was while they were playing the game. And this trend continues beyond the anecdotal. This YouTuber named Jeff surveyed over 9,000 players, and he found that around 70% of Counter-Strike gamblers start underage. Now, themed casinos have always had an audience, but with Counter-Strike, there is an underage gateway to all of this because all you need is $2.50 to get your first skin through Valve, and you don't even need to show ID, which is a huge part of this. Even worse, when you go from the game to the casinos, which are hosted on third-party websites, most don't ID the players either. Or if they do, it's only after you've already gambled thousands of dollars, which is a bit like if a liquor store asked for ID after you drank 10 bottles of liquor. It's obviously absurd, but it's also very profitable because underage gamblers not only are new customers, they're way more likely to become gambling addicts, which is how casinos make most of their money. These days, most physical casinos have a strict ID policy at the door. This isn't because they're good people, it's because they're heavily regulated and would lose their gambling license if they knowingly allowed underage players. But Counter-Strike gambling is fundamentally different. Regulation for these casinos is almost non-existent because they're offshore in Malta, Curacao, Cyprus, and most of them are using loopholes to pretend that this isn't even gambling at all. Look, I'm not going to go into too much detail here because different casinos use different loopholes, but suffice to say, this has been going on a long time. Back in 2016, a very similar story broke in a big way about scam casinos and underage gambling problems in Counter-Strike, and everyone was understandably enraged. Valve even got involved, had to send out cease and desist letters. Even the FTC went after influencers, but when the dust settled, there weren't that many consequences. Part of the reason was because of these loopholes. In fact, the most infamous casino, CSGO Lotto, claimed not even to be a casino at all. They said they were a sweepstakes. Now, this is obviously absurd, it's not true, but none of that matters because it got them out of trouble. And so the same types of casinos have continued, just with new owners and new names. What you're left with then is an industry that is unregulated, if anything, self-regulated, which I discovered creates its own race to the bottom problem because consumer protection in an unregulated market will literally drive away your customers. For example, remember Monarch from the last video and his casino CSGO Empire? One of the things they do that I actually think is good is they block certain IPs where gambling is illegal, and they admit that what they're doing is gambling. Now, you can easily get around these geo restrictions with a VPN, but it's sort of an extra hurdle. Most Counter-Strike casinos don't even do this. And listen to one gambler explain why this tiny decision to just geo-block one region, the US, affected who he chose to gamble with.
So when I went onto Empire, while it's still easy to bypass it, you can just put a VPN, just takes an extra 5 minutes. CSGO Roll, I can just, once again, type it into my browser. Deposits.
Oh, you're an American.
Yes, correct, yes.
So no VPN restriction, no geo-blocking.
Yes, correct. So on Roll, 0 VPN blocking, 0 any bypassing. On Empire, there is blocking. But it truthfully is very easy to bypass.
Right. That makes sense. Most people end up going with the casino who asks them less questions, requires less from you. Even if you're not illegally trying to gamble, you just don't want to have to put in personal information, anything like that. This all taught me that in the world of unregulated gambling, it's more complicated than just saying, okay, casinos want toddlers gambling. It's also market dynamics, right? You get a competitive edge by not regulating. Less work, more customers, more money, which means you can't just solve the problem by wagging your finger at bad casinos. The entire system is broken.
Why would
as
anyone
long
do
as
this?
These loopholes exist.
I don't get it.
Why would anyone change? In fact,
I
some
don't get none of
websites
this.
like Clash.gg
Bought
even
4% sold for
advertise their lack
12%,
of
profit
regulation
150
as a
coins each.
feature,
What?
not a bug. The CEO even bragged on Twitter, quote, Clash just paid out its biggest one-time cash out instantly with no verification. Couldn't be more happy with the product and reputation we are building. This guy sees it as a badge of honor to do no checks. And it is a positive reputation if you want to appeal to underage players, money launderers, or just people who want to avoid a hassle, a VPN and putting in an ID. And this is all a huge problem. But how big of a problem is it, you might wonder? After all, we're talking about video game skins. How much money could this industry really be worth? I wondered the same thing. So I asked around for how much these casinos are making and got several estimates. One owner claims he has an 8-figure business, and someone who worked for his partner claims that is true. How much does he make on Clash?
His partner, Boris, right, also known as Dogs Playing Poker, Friendly Chemist, he told me directly that it was making about $50 million a month.
Ooh,
that's a lot of money, and this roughly matches what the popular gambling.
Can I have a deal, please? Can I have a deal, please? Can I please have a deal? Please. Can I please have a deal? I just want like 20,000. 20,000, wow. Not 50 M's. Just 20,000, wow. 20,000, wow. You feel me? I don't need the 50 pack. Give me the little 2-pack. I don't need it's all goddamn. That's what I'm saying. Goddamn, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Goddamn.
Claims that is true. How much does he make on Clash?
He told me directly that it was making about $50 million a month.
That's a lot of money, and this roughly matches what the popular gambling Counter-Strike YouTuber told me as well, saying he'd estimate these sites are making tens of millions monthly. And there are so many of these sites that the YouTuber Jeff estimated it all in a different way, looking at the total amount of website traffic compared to a popular online casino.
So when you bring them together, those CSGO websites bring almost double the traffic of the biggest online casino today. And this online casino declared a gross revenue of 2.6 billion in 2022. Now that doesn't mean the CSGO websites are grossing more, but it's a great element to put things in perspective.
So even though it's tough getting an exact number since these casinos might overestimate or underestimate for many reasons, either way, it's clear these businesses are making huge amounts of money. And there's many of these casinos. We've just focused on a few in our videos, but there's so many more of these websites, each potentially making millions a month. And no one's gonna change their behavior until they're incentivized to by regulation across the board. Until then, less regulation will always mean a wider customer base, even if some of those customers are underage. The irony here being the biggest voice of change so far really has been Monarch. From the last video, you guys know I am no fan of this guy's methods, but I'll be honest, there's large parts of his public arguments that are hard to argue with. He claims to understand the underage problem because that's how he started as well.
How I got into gambling myself was when I was 13 and I was playing RuneScape, and how the duel arena was like a gateway drug for me. That's how gambling started for me, and that's where it went into third-party sites. I'm just disgusted about this whole loop. I think that the whole case system on Steam is pretty horrible. The way how there is no KYC, it's such a powerful tool for getting children and even adults. I think even adults, they have a gambling problem. It's not only like it's not a age exclusive thing. It's just a machine that makes people gamble. Imagine there's a kid who just plays CSGO and they open one box. Pretty innocent. They get their mom's credit card. They spend €2 to open a box. Okay, then they open a second box, third box, fourth box, and so on. And soon they see their favorite influencer playing on some third-party case opening site. And this is where it's like switching from weed straight to, I don't know, amphetamine or something. and they just go deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole, and soon they are addicted.
Get it.
And
I don't get the hype of it.
When they want to stop gambling, it's easy to just close these websites. But what happens when you go on social media? You go on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, any platform. What do you get? You get gambling ads everywhere. The algorithm starts feeding you. It's like, imagine you are addicted to heroin, and then everywhere you go, you just see like heroin, heroin, heroin. Here, look, your hero is taking heroin.
So we have to separate these two things out.
I don't get it.
Yes, this guy's methods are terrible.
Be like that.
But I'll admit, it's nice to see a casino owner talking honestly about their industry and admitting that what it is gambling and not some kind of sweepstakes.
Really now.
But even if Monarch says he wants to change, without the actual power of a regulator, he just ends up having to harass people, threaten, which isn't going to get him anywhere.
I ain't doing
Not only that, he's no saint either. His own web.
It's kind of like when niggas was discussing the whole NFT fucking shit, and they're like, people buy shit on games like the CSGO. I'm like, I never understood it. That's why I never gave a fuck about none of the fucking NFTs and shit. But
site doesn't ID people right away. According to CSGO's Empire's terms, they only require you to verify your age if you want to withdraw more than 2,000 coins in crypto or deposit substantial amounts of money. If you withdraw via skins, there is no limit. So even the guy who claims he started underage gambling, he understands the gateway drug that skin betting websites act as, even he refuses to fully ID customers because he knows he'd go out of business.
I'm really committed to, I want to make it stricter and stricter. Like, you can't jump to the deep end just like immediately on one day. That would make us go out of business. But really my end goal is I want to do full-blown KYC before anybody deposits. I want to make it as clean as possible.
This, more than anything, shows the limit to the let's self-regulate idea, right? Even the biggest critic of underage gambling can't bring himself to actually ID his customers up front because his competitors won't do it, and he says it would ruin his business. So maybe the solution isn't with the casinos at all. Maybe it's a good time to talk about the influencers who promote it instead. Because when I learned and asked about people who got into this type of gambling, I wondered, how did they get into it in the first place? Who did they hear about it from? And one thing kept popping up.
One of the primary ways I actually learned was through YouTube. It popped up in my recommended page because I was a big fan of Counter-Strike. I'd play it, in my free time. Some gambling videos popped up and I thought, hey,
Streamers kind of exposed me to that space first.
I saw it online. I saw a bunch of these YouTubers playing it.
Found out CSGO gambling just pretty much through watching people on Twitch and YouTube. Juicy was one of them. I actually remember very vividly. He was this guy that would do all these case openings on different websites and such. He was very much affiliated with them. He had codes and all of these things.
I've been surrounded by like Syndicate and like
FaZe
Clan, for example.
Y'all just idiots.
I watched my favorite YouTubers.
Right.
So I remember FaZe Clan
and
actually
streamers,
rolling
of course,
before.
are going to be one of the
I remember
main
Ryan rolling for
advertising
skins and
vectors.
shit back in the
It's
day.
been that way since 2016.
I wasn't hyped over no damn
Influencers are the
skin.
main lifeblood of
Probably
these
play CS:GO
casinos.
again, but
Fast forward 8
still.
years later, it's just different influencers, different casinos
Shit.
making the money than before. But unlike casinos, who we know intuitively are blood-sucking leeches on society, influencers, by contrast, are
Who's making the skins rare? Like, what
we
validates a
expect
rare
more
skin?
from them.
And
we don't get it,
like this
but
one
we
costs
expect
$200.
more.
This one costs $1.
So I wanted to confront 3 different influencers
they the same skin,
who
they do
do
the
this
exact
gambling streaming
same
stuff
guy.
of different sizes and get
This gun
their
don't give me a
opinions
boost. This
on
don't
why
give me
they
fucking aim
promote
assist. I
this
paid
stuff
fucking
and how they can
$500 for
possibly
this. I paid
justify
$1
it.
for this gun. I'm
I
not getting
don't
aim
think people
assist.
should gamble, honestly, on the sites. They shouldn't gamble at all. But I enjoy doing it, so it's what I do. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
No. That part of it makes sense. That the part where you want to do it so you continue to do it, that makes sense. But let's say I'm like, I don't think smoking's good for you, but I like smoking. It makes sense that I would smoke. It doesn't make sense that I would go promote it to get people to smoke.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that perspective too. And it's a very good argument, and it's like you can't really argue against it, right? It's just It's not a good thing, but it's something that I still enjoy doing, and so I'm going to continue to do it.
Is it just too much money? That's an acceptable answer. It's just too much money to turn down.
100%
I'd say
too much
in the
fucking
beginning
money.
probably was too much money. At this point, like it's not about the money for me. It's just I really enjoy doing it.
Well, in the videos, I don't
lying.
sugarcoat.
Nigga
I
still about the
don't
fucking
try
money,
to
bro.
convince
Nigga
people
lying.
that winning or gambling is a way or a solid option to flip a quick buck. Even in my wins, I preface that this is not a sustainable thing. So it's not something that I necessarily. I don't know. You can watch the videos and decide for yourself if it feels like promotion, but that's how I reason it to myself. I don't even, use the rewards. I don't advertise it at all. So I don't, the rewards thing.
There you go. That's what you
It's
had to
more
say.
of like I said, I don't advertise it. So I don't feel
But you
guilt.
do advertise. You get paid to advertise it, right?
Not the reward system. No, I don't mention the rewards.
No.
at all.
I'm saying CS:GO roll.
Yes.
We're talking about the gambling side.
Yes.
We both know it's not going to be good for people. And then you're kind of saying, well, I don't really promote it. I don't really advertise it. But in a way, if you didn't promote or advertise it, they wouldn't pay you
Absolutely.
millions of dollars.
Yeah, I watched your Trainwrecks video and you said the same thing. You're like the less dirtier of the dirt bags. So I guess I would call myself that. And ultimately, if you watch the video, you can decide like how less
It's like,
dirty
give me
is he
that
really.
view,
But yeah, that's
then
my
you can
answer.
decide for yourself.
most
Just give
people
me
are
that
going
view.
to, unfortunately,
Go ahead and watch my
gamble
video though.
with or without certain streamers, right? Obviously, it's intended to be like a McDonald's ad. You see a McDonald's ad, you see a Big Mac, you're gonna go, I'm craving a Big Mac. So it's the same concept.
You're saying like, oh, I'm just like kind of promoting McDonald's, whatever.
No, it's not. It's not like promoting McDonald's. Let's be honest. Gambling is a terrible addiction. My closest friend has a very, very bad gambling addiction. He'll get paid on, let's say, a Tuesday, and by Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, his whole paycheck is gone for 2 weeks, and then he has no money. And no matter what I do to intervene to help that individual try to hold
That
his money,
nigga gonna hit big, and y'all gonna regret the day y'all try to stop that boy. You feel me? That boy gonna hit big, and his pocket's gonna be 4 PF. He gonna be chilling with baby in them, and y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be upset because he ain't gonna give y'all not a damn dollar. Let that man gamble his damn paycheck away. Let that man do it. M's on M's. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That boy gonna hit big. Just let him get, bro. You just gotta let him hit once. You gambling the full check away. You feel me? For 2 weeks. You know that at least 1,500, maybe at least on a good time. You feel me? 15 to 14. You feel me? Around there, maybe. You feel me? Probably even more. Probably about 2, 3. You feel me? Depending on his job, what he get paid. You feel me? Hourly. Might have a good job. Let that boy hit. It's like that picture with the diamonds. You feel me? That nigga just give up and then he right there to the diamonds. Don't give up. Keep going. Dig a little deeper. Just dig a little deeper. Well, maybe maybe the next couple weeks come by, that paycheck hit again. He go in that mug. He throw it down all, and he up. Now you salty and you looking like a hater because he rich and he's living his best life. Fuck
help
outta
him
here.
sit there and self-exclude. He finds ways because it's an addiction. It's just as bad as any other drug.
Two
that
times,
dopamine
fuck
rush.
Yeah, the answers were part admissions, part rationalizations. They all knew gambling was bad, but they stopped short of actually doing something about it because they were making money from it, even when they knew people whose own lives were hurt by it. So if you know the harm firsthand, you've seen it in your own life.
Yeah.
Wait,
how
he's
do you
still
justify
and
peddling
he's still
that drug?
and he's
as you call
still
It's
he's
a,
still fucking
it's
promoting
going
to the kids.
happen, in my opinion.
Hey,
And, like,
young
there is no
Grinch.
justification.
Thanks for the
And I
follow,
say, like, I'm a
baby.
drug dealer,
Let's
sure,
go.
you're gonna label certain
Yes,
streamers are gonna be
sir.
labeled as a drug dealer.
Young Grinch before the
in essence, and that's
boy who
okay.
stole Christmas away.
I guess if people are going to view it that way, I mean, I was.
I want to know how
The
you
YN
view it,
who
how
stole
you feel,
Christmas.
because
It's the
because
YN
you
who
said-
stole
you said it
Christmas.
was kind of like a drug. So I want.
It is a drug. I mean, it hits
Appreciate the
dopamine
follow.
levels. Hell, I get hit with dopamine levels if I hit big. It's yeah, and then that becomes a YouTube trick. I feel bad. I do. Right? I hate to hear when people say I've lost money. I hate it, dude. I really, it crushes me because some people legit do it because they're bored and then they lose everything they have. And it is a terrible feeling to hear that, right?
Not to question their sincerity, but I've heard all of them say that they hate when people get addicted. They don't want to see anyone hurt, but they refuse to stop even though they know casinos are run on addicts. Fun fact, Clash.gg, who...
Yeah, that boy make no sense. He over here talking about, yeah, my homie gamble his paycheck every 2 weeks. But I still got to get these little niggas on the gambling train. I got to get them like him. You feel me? I got to make my money too. Like, I guess. And you going to tell that boy to stop gambling. You going to tell him to... Psh. Shit is sad. Shit sad as a motherfucker. Crazy. It's crazy, spooky. It's crazy, spooky, hilarious. Man, I forgot the damn
clear.
lyrics.
We had their CEO admitting he was proud of not IDing players. Also admitted that the majority of their revenue comes from a tiny fraction of their most addicted players. Quote, less than 1% of Clash accounts make up 80% of our revenue. It's just an admission from their founder. It's an open secret. So these influencers can empathize about how horrible addiction is, but they know that's where their paycheck comes from.
Crazy,
the CEO
scary,
of Clash has a
spooky.
profile on
There we
Twitter
go.
that says, never gamble, the house always wins. But ironically, his house is probably from people gambling. The fact of the matter is that these people say with their mouth, I feel terrible, I feel bad. But when it comes to actually changing, they never do. Even when they directly scam people, they will still find a way to rationalize it. And this next part is pretty dark. But for a moment, we're going to have to go back for a second to the PGL major tournament and talk about the thing I was originally offered a bounty to investigate. A specific casino that is owned by the same group as CSGO Roll, but this one is called Hype Drop. It's owned by Monarch's arch nemesis. Hype Drop was a casino where instead of gambling Counter-Strike skins, you could gamble real-world items, like real-world loot boxes.
Now you get me
For example,
sold.
you could pay for a
'Cause I'm done
real
one
loot
of these
box that would
bitch-ass
get you
fucking
anything
sites.
from like a $10 gift card to a Lamborghini, for example. It's just
I'm
gambling
done
with
one of these
physical
bitch-ass
items.
sites.
But the real secret sauce of this website was a loyalty program called the Daily Cases, where the more you spent, the higher level you got, the more you'd get these daily cases, which essentially were free money. Every single day, you could go on their
know
website,
that.
open these daily cases, and theoretically, you'd get free stuff, free money. Which, if that sounds unsustainable, it is. It was all part of a scheme, it turns out, to make the Danish government believe that Hype Drop was not actually gambling. I received a letter Hype Drop gave to the Danish regulator arguing players could not lose money on their site because over time, the daily cases paid back all the losses over roughly 3 years. This is one of those loopholes we talked about where they're going to argue they're not actually gambling because you can't lose. Now, of course, I asked Hype Drop about this, and initially they denied ever sending this letter. Eventually, I showed them that I had their document, and they finally confessed, saying they did do it on one occasion, but denied trying to...
Then boys, he said the irony, he made video to stop the addicts, but the whole time he got me hooked. Sign me up. Sign me up. Here's my card. Sign me up. I'm crying. But no, the Hydra said, nah, we ain't do that. Then he said, here's the evidence. They said, yo, do hands up. Yo, do hands up. Looking ass.
to pass it off as an investment. They then quickly scurry away saying, this is our last comment. I bet it is, because they got caught making bad faith arguments to the Danish government. This type of loophole is why in their promotional material, Hype Drop said things like, yes, you'll always make at least your money back, and, quote, we offer return on what you invest through our daily reward system, and, quote, it's a win-win situation every time. Now, it only takes a few moments to realize that offering jackpots and money back to losers isn't going to work. It has to be a scam, which is why many people like Monarch called this thing an unsustainable Ponzi scheme. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but he's right. On March 27th, 2024, Killian, the owner, announced that he was shutting down the site, effectively rug pulling his customers, who were all relying on these daily cases to make their losses back. This is part of what Monarch's paid goons were yelling about at the PGL majors.
Oh,
By
yeah,
removing their
W.
daily cases,
Yeah,
Hype Drop, in my
nah, I
opinion,
would've
stole
fucking
from
rushed
their
that
users
stage too.
and effectively revealed their
That's
legal
fucked
loophole
up.
to be a lie. Now, with that all understood, let's circle back to this guy, Juicy, a gambling streamer who we heard from earlier. He was easily one of the biggest promoters of Hype Drop, and I wanted to know, given that he has widely promoted a scam, what was he gonna do to make things right? So let's talk about Hype Drop at this point. This has been kind of what precipitated the PGL majors, according to Monarch. He says, I had to protest Hype Drop. It was a Ponzi scheme that collapsed, and CSGO rolls next. Now, when I was looking up Hype Drop, you were one of the people who was promoting it, like one of the bigger YouTubers I saw, maybe the biggest. What's your take on promoting this stuff? Where's your ethical line for what you will take, what you won't take on?
Yeah. So to my understanding, I had never worked with a gambling site that had rewards that function like a Ponzi scheme, you know? So when I was playing on it, I'm not promoting the rewards, you know? I'm not like, this is the most rewarding IRL gambling site. So I was just playing with the product itself and, you know, making content around that. So obviously it's really f***ing annoying and bullshit when the rewards get, first off, cut down, and then second off, now there is no reward offering and the site's going away. Like, I'm obviously very upset, not just for my own intent, but also mainly for the people who, especially if people put money into Hype Drop, thinking of it like a good monetary investment versus like, I'm just gambling, you know? I'm pretty sure from my understanding, that wasn't like a advertised thing. At least they weren't advertising. They weren't saying, hey, you got to tell them about this great investment option. I think that was more of a legal loophole that they were, you know, trying to operate.
He's just lying about some of this. He says he didn't advertise his daily cases, but I think he didn't think I'd watch his videos because he definitely did.
Daily reminder, claim your daily cases. They're free monies. Code JUICY will get you 3 free cases, so might as well. I mean, my daily cases used to pay a filthy amount of money. It was a full-time income just claiming them. Claim this every day, dude, and we're making a full-time salary every month.
Yeah, he calls the daily cases basically a full-time salary. But I thought surely after seeing that Hype Drop scammed people, he would cancel his sponsorship with the same company. Like, it's the sister casino CSGO Roll, right? He has to stop that now that he's scammed his audience. He didn't cancel it, right? So let me ask you, does that mean you're no longer going to work with CSGO Roll since they're run by the same people?
Well, I've already promoted the site, and I already have fans who use the site. And
There's no point in me stopping
I don't
now.
think the
Fuck
reward
it.
offering there is going to change. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate
But I think
that
you
they
can
did that.
see. I think you can see the logic of no one thought Hype Drop was gonna rug people from these cases, these daily rewards. And if you are regretful, wouldn't that turn into some kind of action on your part to like change who you're working with?
Yeah, I understand that completely, but I feel like Counter-Strike sites aren't there to stay forever in the first place. I don't think anyone's expecting them to stay forever, and there really isn't many great options. So yeah, maybe it's fucked up of me that I continue to do so, absolutely, but it really is one of the better options on the market right now, and there's a ton of dog shit on the market, so yeah.
And there it is. Absolutely, he doesn't want to change. Absolutely, he's not going to stop what he's doing. At the end of the day, past all the rationalizations, that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what you show them, what you prove to them. They're making too much money. And that is the part that I was struggling to like really get from these people, is they would always say like, I do it for the love of gambling, man. I would do it if nobody paid me. Of course, they always do it getting paid. But this is the single biggest cope of gambling streamers. In fact, even Grim told me this, who we spoke to earlier about getting harassed. Luckily for me, though, his tax records are public. So I knew that he was actually making a few $1 million a year and had a few million reasons to lie about why he was doing what he did. So I decided to ask him if maybe the money did play a role. Somebody reached out to me. They said, hey, I found Grim's business. He made $5 million last year. Is that true? And does that undermine what you said about it's not about the money?
Yeah, no, that is true. Like, what's one of the, I guess, the downsides with Norway is everything's public. If they know my company name, even just my name, they Google around, they find it. So like everything that I make is public. And yeah, you could say that the argument is obviously hypocritical because like I made a lot of money, but like I don't do it because I make a lot of money. I'd still do it if I didn't make a lot of money. And like even if I wasn't paid, I would still do it when I had excess money to do it because I like doing it. And it might like sound like a lie, but that's how I started it. And that's how I always wanted to continue.
It sounds like the $5 million might have something to do with it. It just, but that's fine. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I 100% understand what people would think like, oh, no, it's only because of the money. But like, I know myself that it isn't only because of the money, but it's obviously great. Don't get me wrong.
How much did you make this year?
I'd rather not say, but I could say it's a lot.
Come on, Juicy, tell us. Tell us. Look,
so I actually don't know the exact answer myself, but I can tell you it's going to be right around Grimm's number, which I know he told you already.
Grimm's $5 million.
Yeah, and then I got to pay a stupid tax rate on that, but it's probably around there.
Both made about $5 million last year, so it's kind of obvious why they're not going to stop based on just a moral argument. And I began to wonder, like, how many of these influencers take these deals because they are so profitable? Well, luckily, thanks to the hard work of Jeff, who we mentioned earlier, whose documentary you should definitely go watch, I found out it's almost everyone.
This is the top 300 CSGO streamers since the beginning of this year, ranked by watch time. Of 300, 226 are currently sponsored by at least one of them. Some have up to 5. We are looking at 75%.
75%. It's insane. Counter-Strike gambling is basically funding over half of the scene with these ridiculous paychecks. And I began to wonder, not about the people who said yes, but the people who said no. They're the minority. I wanted to know, for the people who said no, how much were they offered, and why didn't they take it?
This is something I think about a lot. Because
now you broke.
There have even been moments in time where I've been offered $300,000 for a month of gambling.
Shit.
$5,000 an hour.
Shit.
That could change my life. That could retire my mom. That could alter my family's lineage. But I keep turning it down.
You an idiot. You
was when I was an even
dumbass.
smaller streamer than now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things I've been thinking a lot about is like how to change this, you know, even if well,
Man,
what does even
sign me
change
up.
look like?
Sign me up,
That's
CS,
part of
bro.
what I'm thinking about. Like, what does even change look like for this?
I get my boy Weedo on that site. I have him spending
And
all
one
his
thing
money.
that I came to is like the incentives have to change because they're so out
Sign
of
me
whack.
up.
The second you allow
I get you one person on the site
and streamers
Shit.
to like get sponsorship deals, how are you going to stop someone from taking that amount of money? You're a good person, so you just don't
he's
want
a
to do it.
dumb
That's your
person.
personal line. But I think
Good
it's
heart,
hard
but
for just
dumb
even
ass.
somebody who's a good person to say no. You know, it's only because you know what you would do to people.
Pause.
But that is such a crazy amount of
You
money.
sound crazy.
You know, this interview almost ruined me on this story. I began to wonder if change was even possible when money like this is in the field for play. Like, the casinos aren't going to regulate themselves because they lose customers and there's so much money at stake. Most influencers aren't going to say no because there's so much money at stake and they could change their life and their families' lives by taking these deals. The more I looked into it, you can't expect all the people to be immune from this influence all at the same time, which is the only way to make change. It wasn't just the influencers or casinos either. Even esports, the most professional, supposedly, side of the game, was flooded with gambling. Almost every professional team had a gambling sponsor. For example, FaZe's Rollbit, the PGL Major was sponsored by 1xBet, G2 was sponsored by CSGO Roll, and this creates the same problem that it created with the influencers. If a sponsor is offering you buckets of money, it becomes really hard not to take because if you don't take it, your competitor will. In fact, one esports owner argued the entire ecosystem in Counter-Strike, especially in the lower leagues, is basically funded by the gambling industry and gambling addicts. So I called him to understand more of how this works. Can you walk me through how gambling functions in the esports economy?
The issue is that, or the issue, I guess, at hand that you're talking about is that this activity is enabled by more controversial sponsors in gambling and skin rolling sites. If those sponsors weren't permitted, then the tier 2 and beyond scene in CS specifically would likely wither or die, or at the very least constrict to a very large degree. So that's what I meant by my tweet that you should thank your local betting crackhead in Twitch chat. If you're a fan of tier 2 CS and beyond, then the reason you're watching that team play is probably because of that better. To note, this is also true of a lot of orgs' profitability. So the value that traditional sponsors bring in for a tier 2 org, even more, with G2 and Rollbit, for example, the value that a traditional sponsor brings in versus a Gamba sponsor is like 15 or 20% of the value. So you don't really turn that down as an org owner unless you've got very specific moral qualms or disagree with gambling on a personal level.
But does this inflate the economy where if you're not taking a gambling sponsorship, you're almost at a disadvantage because your economics and what you're able to play players and attract talent is much less than somebody who, for example, has a gambling deal and is making way more money than you?
Yeah, to a degree, that's true, I think. Very, very few organizations are able to do it without Gamba. Largely, if you don't have Gamba, you're almost certainly going to be unprofitable.
You heard it there. You almost can't compete at the highest level without a gambling sponsor because they pay so much more than everyone else. And if everyone else is doing it, they will have more money to spend on a team than you and get better players and therefore likely beat you.
Okay.
There's just no more profitable sponsor to turn to. And so a lot of people actually take the money. So even if that sponsor is a site that allows minors to play with no ID, who cares? Just slap an 18+ sticker in your ad for them and get plausible deniability. That's what G2 did when announcing their CSGO role sponsorship. A depressing fact about this video is the star of it, a guy named Monesi, turned 18 only days before they announced the sponsorship, which means in the video, it was filmed when he was 17. He was underage in their casino, supposedly 18+, and no one cared. A perfect metaphor for this entire industry. It's all optics.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, by the way, the exact day I announced I was investigating Counter-Strike gambling, CSGO Roll did announce for the first time that they were going to be asking all users to prove that they're 18 before playing. Whether or not it's coincidence, they announced it same day. I don't know. Take it for what it is. Maybe it's a token gesture. They'll roll back. Or maybe it's a sudden change of heart for the youth. I don't know. Either way, the point I'm making is that for many people and professional teams, the choice to take a gambling sponsorship is like the choice for PEDs in the Olympics or steroids in the WWE. You can say no, but if everyone else is using them and getting ahead, you choosing not to for ethical reasons will get you left behind, and your peers will become more successful than you. It's a depressing cycle that has me flashing back to the CSGO Wild days several years ago and realizing we're right where we started. CSGO Wild in 2016 was a gambling website secretly owned, slightly disputed, by FaZe Clan. And according to FaZe Banks, his motivation to do that was pretty simple.
My motivation for doing it actually was at the time we weren't making enough money to buy a CSGO team. All in, the venture was going to cost us like $1 million, and we definitely did not have anything close to that. So my brain, we got to finesse it. We got to figure out how to make the money to buy this team now, because in the next 6 months, year, this team's going to be worth like $4 or $5 million, and we're not going to be able to get into this game, which in our heads we need to get in this game.
Yeah, when you hear it, it sounds crazy. It sounds like a cope, but his plan actually worked. FaZe got away with it. FaZe Clan has a Counter-Strike team that won second place in the infamous PGL Major all these years after CSGO Wild. It's alive and well.
They got the
and
banks.
still
They
funded,
got
by the way, by gambling. Just by a different gambling website. Now it's Rollbit. It's reportedly a multi-million-dollar deal. Now look, I know seeing this is all very depressing. But we've actually learned some really valuable things. Firstly, we can't fix this at the individual level of influencers, esports teams, or even casinos. Doxing people, harassing them doesn't fix it or the underlying problems. It's a deep systemic problem of incentives. Of course, acknowledging that also doesn't absolve individuals. I wouldn't dare say it's okay for Juicy to do what he does, where people have been scammed and he continues to work with the same parent company. That said, if he stopped, it wouldn't change things suddenly. Someone would take his place. So if we're serious about trying to solve this problem, we have to look farther up the food chain than influencers, even than casinos, even than esports leagues. We have to zoom out and see the root cause.
Valve definitely does.
Alright, good shit, good shit. Alright, we're gonna get on to fucking... Okay. Just trying to get my music and shit. Minus 1,000 ore for what? What I did? What I do? Just trying to get my music and shit. Minus 1,000 ore for what? What I did? What I do? I love that. I love that for us. Okay. 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 Not you, Banks. Oh yeah, true. Okay. Alright, chat. I'm gonna end on this and I'm gonna go live on the phone, so I'll be right back.